I can hear music from somewhere. A carousel? Was I asleep? My name is Frankie, and I've recently moved back to the town I grew up in. I left Stagtown to attend college out of state, but I always knew I'd move back home eventually. Staketown is a tiny place up in the mountains, where nothing much ever seems to change. I'd like to tell you about the strange things that happen here. After some time away, I moved back home and into a small apartment. I've been on my own out of college for about 8 months at that point, and doing fairly well. I'd managed to find a small place on the east side of town. The units weren't the newest, but they were clean and the rent was reasonable. The neighbors were okay too, but some were a bit odd.
Frankie, you're home.
Like Jeremy, our resident conspiracy theorist.
Did you see what they've done? They put new spy cameras on the property.
I didn't know Jeremy well, but he was fairly harmless. Just weird. I'm sure you're imagining things again, dude. Like the spy unmarked van from last week? Yeah, he was that kind of guy. Tinfoil hats and Illuminati.
Are you kidding? Right there. That's a new camera, aimed right at my door. Wasn't there yesterday. Explain that.
What? That old thing? It looks ancient. Probably been here since they built the place.
Impossible. I'd have noticed it. I've been seeing new cameras in town. On the streets, the power poles, over the buildings. Who's watching on the other end of them? The government? The police? The people who sit behind the monitors all day and watch us? Every day, there are more. Now they're in our building, watching my door all day. I don't even want to leave the house.
I know. Listen, try to get some sleep tonight, okay?
Okay, but remember what I said. Frankie, tell me if you see any more cameras in the property. Frankie, do you ever wonder who watches the cameras? There's 1 million of them on the streets, but we never even notice them. Traffic cams, security cams, webcams, phone cams. We are always being watched, Frankie. Always. Frankie?
Good night, Jeremy. I put Jeremy's paranoias out of my head. Every week it was something new with that guy. That night I had a restless dream, but it was forgotten by the time I woke up. Huh? The next morning, there was a camera in my apartment. Maintenance must have come in and installed it before I woke up. You could still see the loose plaster from where it had just been bolted to the wall. That's it! I don't care if it's for security or whatever. I'm not having a camera in my kitchen. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Jeremy on something. This is going way too far. I'm going to give the landlord a piece of my mind. What? And just like that, there was cameras everywhere. There was no point complaining to the landlords. Cameras had appeared all over town. No one saw them being installed. They just popped up overnight. They were the same ancient models as in my kitchen. Dozens of cameras on every wall and pole. Watching in every direction. The news claimed it was a prank or some guerrilla art project. But they were inside people's homes, so naturally people were angry about it. Strangely, the town's traffic cams saw nothing. They just stopped working the day before. It was weird seeing workers up on ladders trying to fix these brand new traffic cameras. Meanwhile, the ancient models that appeared seemed practically indestructible. I saw some men were trying to follow where the old cameras were feeding their video. But the cables would go on for a few feet and then straight into the ground or through walls and under boulders. The news said just ignore the cameras for now. But people started carrying umbrellas. It was exhausting to be watched all the time. I had to put up with it while waiting for maintenance to come and remove the camera from my kitchen. Finally, I got sick of waiting and took it down myself, cutting the cord at the wall. And that was the end of that. Later that evening, I went out to run a few errands. When I came home, there were 3 more cameras. After that, I ate all my meals in my bedroom. I didn't even want to go into the kitchen to do any cooking. The cameras hadn't moved. They were too awful to look at. Everyone learned the same lesson. If a camera was taken down, blocked, or covered up, it was replaced overnight. If you taped up the lens, another camera appeared. Cutting the wires was even worse. More cameras, uglier ones, would appear. It seemed for every one cut down, 3 or 4 more would replace it. They didn't move, but they looked like they might. That was the worst part. No one even knew if there was someone watching on the other side of the cameras, or if this was all some horrible joke. I'd resolved to go away and stay in a motel, out of town until this all blew over. But there was one person I felt like I should check on before I left. Unfortunately, he was being watched more closely than anyone.